In the last video, we practiced moving your upper body and lower body together to hit your running forehand shots much smoother. But even with your fluid movement, if you stop at the wrong spot, then you would miss the sweet spot of your racket. So in this video, I'll show you the positioning, the ideal positioning of your forehand shot, and show you some drills to practice this. So let's get started. Okay, so where should you be stopping when you do your running forehand shot? First thing you have to know is to let the ball bounce a couple of steps in front of you. So imagine the red cone in front of me, that's the bouncing point of the incoming ball. Now, you don't want to run to the bouncing point, right? Because the ball will bounce and come even closer to you. So you should always keep the distance from the bouncing point. So just make sure that when you're running to the moving ball, okay, make sure you stop, okay, a couple of steps behind the bouncing point. Now, sometimes your opponent hits a really good deep shot and the ball bounces somewhere really close to the baseline. Now, in that case, if you have enough time to move back, then do so that you can take the ball at the waist height in front of you. But most of the time, because your opponent hits really hard, you don't even have time to move back. Now, in that case, it's really difficult to leave the distance from the bouncing point to yourself. Now, in that case, stay where you are, just get closer to the ball, but the bouncing point is still has to be in front of you. If you were to stand at the same level as where the ball bounces, that's going to be extremely difficult to hit the ball back. Now you also want to keep distance about an arm and the racket length for the side way. Imagine you start from here and that's the bouncing point. If you were to run and stop here, then the ball would come directly at me. You're not going to be in that right position. So you're going to have to leave some distance, right, about the racket and your arm. Just extend your racket arm straight, and the face of the racket should be exactly where the bouncing point is. So the correct positioning is, first you have to stop a couple of steps behind the bouncing point, and the second, you have to be at least a racket and an arm length away. The second thing I want to talk about is when should you be in that position. Ideally, you want to be in that position by the time the ball bounces on the ground. If you're still not in that position when the ball bounces, then you'll end up hitting the rushed shot. So make sure you're in this surfer's position when the ball is bouncing on the ground. And the faster the ball comes to you, the faster and earlier you have to position and adjust. So here's your first drill to practice this. Just place any object with at least about the height of your waist. I brought the trolley here, that's perfect for me. You're going to have to stand in the middle of the court. You first have to approach, get in the surfer's position, and just tap the object. Now, you first have to make a mark, make the target. Okay, so my target is just here. This part has to be exactly in the middle of my racket face. I'll do that one more time. So start from the middle, approach to the ball, hit, then follow through. Now just be careful, this is not the bouncing point. This is the contact point. So your bouncing point is somewhere around the service line. So pretend the ball has already bounced off the ground, then it bounced up about the waist height, and you're making a contact here. You also want to be careful that you're not either jammed up or too far away from your body. If you feel like the contact's too close to your body, then your positioning is wrong. You stopped probably too close to where the ball is. If you're really stretching for the ball, or the target is really close to the tip of the racket, then that means you're a bit too far away from your ideal position. So you should have gotten closer in that case. Now this is your second drill. Place one cone somewhere between the service line and the baseline. This is the bouncing point of the ball. So that's where the ball bounces. You stand on the baseline, start from the middle. Now you approach, and I'll get you to stop at the spot where you think you can have that best contact point. Now with this drill, you have to keep measuring the distance. So two things we just practiced, couple of steps behind the bouncing point, and a racket and the arm distance. So that's where you want to stop. That's where you want to position and get into that surfer's position. If you're not sure if you're in the right distance, then here's how you check. You get to the position and just stop the racket at the contact point. Just walk to the bouncing point. Is it perfectly matching? Then yes, you're in the correct distance. But if you end up being here or there, then you were either a bit too close or too far away. Okay, this is our last drill. It's exactly the same as we did in the previous video. So 3 cones there, and you're doing the same thing, but different distance. Okay, really good practice for measuring the distance. First, you want to stop at the first bouncing point. After you do a shadow swing, you go back to the middle and run to the second bouncing point. Okay, after you're finished, you come back again and then run to the third bouncing point, complete your follow through, then come back. You can always start slowly, and once you're used to it, then gradually increase the speed. And if you're not sure if your contact is correct, then you can use that way to check your positioning. So here are the 2 takeaways of this video. When you're trying to find that ideal position, you have to stop a couple of steps behind the bounce point. The second thing, you want to stand out an arm and a racket length to the side of the ball. Make sure you're in a surfer's position by the time the ball bounces on the ground. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you think this video is helpful, please click a like and also subscribe for more tennis lessons. And check out the link in the description to join my website. You'll get a free PDF tennis tutorial every 2 weeks. Thanks so much, guys. See you in the next one.